So, through some unexpected changes of plans, I am at Lake Milton mountain bike trail on a Friday night, and finally decided to make a video overview of it. It's my, what I like to call my home trail system, followed immediately by West Branch, meaning I spend the most time at both. And I made a pretty thorough video of West Branch, but I feel like I kind of neglected Milton. So as you can see by the signs, we are on a counterclockwise day, which in my opinion and most other people's opinion is the faster of the days, more flowy. You do get to climb the switchbacks to get out, but you would have to climb this upcoming downhill section on the way out otherwise. And the counterclockwise direction is mostly, after the switchbacks, pretty flowy. So the trail is about 10 miles in length, but you wouldn't know that from anyone's Strava. It's twisty and turny enough to where the faster you go, the less miles you're gonna get in your Strava. Those of you guys with Garmin's are gonna have a little bit better time with the tracking. It's all hand cut. Nice, some roots here and there, some rocks here and there. Some really great wooden features that the trail guys have been working on. It's directional now, as the signs showed, so it's nice you don't have to worry about running into somebody going the opposite direction, which happened to me once at a river crossing. Neither myself nor the woman who was there were watching what they were doing. Thanks. Thank you. Some random walkers. But as you can see, it's a real fun entryway in. There's some downhill section and Little Creek crossing right into, if you're going counterclockwise, right into what is commonly referred to as the Yee Haw section, being as it's got some pretty big ups and downs that might make you say, yeah, you get it. Once you get out of Yee Haw, you get into some rolling, smooth areas pretty quick. The trail takes a while to dry out initially in the spring, but once it gets dried out, it can really take the rain. The trail is always very well maintained, thanks to everyone at the Rust Belt Trail Coalition, which you can join their chapter and help support them. They are out here quite a bit doing work, keeping everything really clean and fast. The fun part about this trail system is that sections you really go on, and then others where you come with some surprises. Like right here, this super tight turn to the right. Can't really flow through that. Slow down a bit. Lots of little features like this guy, too. Little rocks and log overs. There's a log over coming up right around this next bend, actually. Right here. As I mentioned before, you can tell how twisty it is and why. The faster you go, the shorter your mileage will be. I'm closing in on the hour mark for the whole trail system, and I think I have it down to 7.2 miles, something like that. Lots of sharps and places you can carry a good amount of speed if you get used to the trails. And lots of wooden features you can really plow through. In regards to difficulty, for those of you who haven't been out here, I would say in some ways it's pretty difficult, being is that it's not the most flowy trail system around. So when you compare it to like East Rim, even though there's bigger downhills, you gotta climb a lot more at East Rim, but there's flow there, and so you're not pedaling most of the time, whereas here you pedal quite a bit. So from a technical standpoint, not as difficult. From an exertion standpoint, more difficult. I would sandwich this somewhere between Austin Badger and any of the Medina trail systems and West Branch. There are definitely several obstacles throughout the course that have some chicken lines. You can go around most everything. It's a bunch of skinnies. And again, nothing too crazy. Like I said, between Austin Badger and West Branch, as far as skill level, it's probably the best place I can put it. They're just about ready to add on another out and back section this year, and once that loop is closed, probably in the spring, it will be the last available land that there is left to make trails on. It already uses quite a bit of the land they were given. Obviously how twisty and turny it is, they made great use of it. So it's probably going to end up being maybe 12 miles or so. Lots of little spots you can pop off and give yourself some added speed pumping and popping off of stuff. So definitely, as you learn the trail, you can definitely become faster on this one. Lots of these little poppy climbs. Nothing as long as West Branch, and I'd say probably a little bit more climbing than Austin Badger for sure, though. You can see the tree to ride across to my right here, much better from the other angle. You can carry momentum, whereas from this angle, you're kind of climbing. So it's a no-go for me. Woo. It's a new one for this season. It comes right at you, right after that sharp turn. So it's one you gotta just nail. Too many people try to hit their brakes and it's too steep for that. You just gotta trust in your front suspension and go over that thing. Really cool addition. Whereas some other trails in other areas, I won't mention any names, Medina area, get neutered, it seems, or have people complain about the lack of difficulty. This trail gets a little more difficult with each year, which makes it really awesome. Woohoo! And you can jump those entire things to get your speed up. You can bunny hop both those sections like I just did. Keep yourself some speed. Man, these are just, can't stress enough the idealness of these trail conditions. I'm having to brake around some of these bends because you just can't make them. Skinnies. There it is. Bunny hop action. Oh. Into that turn pretty quick. Whew. Much like West Branch, where every time I tell you to get fast, some logs. You get to the lakeside, you gotta turn careful. In here, every time you get really fast, you're gonna know that you're gonna hit some kind of sharp turn. So genuinely watch your speed and keep your chin up. Look at this tree. Would have been a bad one. Too big to move on my lonesome. Keep running and report it after the ride. The rest of the signage on the outside of the trails leading in is fantastic. It's got all updated this year. And looks good. Trails are all up to date. Directionals are posted. So bravo to the Rust Belt guys. And shout out to some of the local legends too. Bill Mickey and Donnie Loveless. If you come out here, you'll definitely meet those guys and or hear of those gentlemen. Not only do they help keep the trail system going, as well as many others too, but they also usually own the KOMs here and are all around just really great guys and great riders. So shout out to those two. Skinny, followed by another guy. Just sat down for those ones just because the approach. Sometimes I'll stand. It's a pretty long one towards the end of our ride here that I'll definitely be standing on. Ooh, greasy. Ooh, and the back slid out a little bit, even at slow speed. Gonna be heading into shortly a slightly newer section that was added last year. river and through the woods. To grandmother's house we go. Just keep pedaling. That's the key to Milton, to keep pedaling. And watch out for tight ass turns. This is part of a newer section added last year. Key is to keep pedaling. You guessed it. If you keep your speed up, you can carry up these guys, make your life a million times easier. It's one of those things that Craig and I continuously gripe about to people, is about how to be fast, and a big part about how to be fast is momentum. And I'm not particularly fast, don't get me wrong, but shaved good amounts of time off of many of my routes, some of them up to 20 minutes this season. And the biggest change, other than being on a bike that I think handles for me a million times better, is that I learned to keep up my momentum. Because a lot of times you'll spend more energy cranking through a climb slow than you would if you just approach the climb with the max amount of speed. And again, it's where possible. Right now there's no flow on this section. This is just shift down and spin. Here's one of those close bar beaters. Whew, you gotta really shove it through to the left on that first one. Another really fun feature is that big ass rock garden and that jump right before it. Really get some speed through there. This section is new. You can tell by the trail's a little bit skinnier, less wear. I can see Bill's name on that log, who I mentioned earlier, I'm sure. Ooh. Oh, look at the view. Pretty sweet view at the moment. Now, there's a south exit off of Schilling Road that is also available to riders. We'll be able to see that here through the trees in a second. Here it is right here. And it's known as the South Lot. so it's another place you can park. Good signage and directional signage there as well. Coming into a really great section for those of you who have pumping skills to get up some speed and maintain your speed, both through some obstacles, over some, and through some. So right from about here, you pump these. Oh yeah. Some chowdering. Whew. Log down there. And longest skinny in northeastern Ohio that I've ridden. Coming right up. Yep. That's a new one. Whew. Let's get off the skinny and collect ourselves. It just goes to show that even on your trails that you're used to the most, you can hit shit and fucking die. Okay, where was I before that? Beautiful Superman. Bike seems okay, which is always the worry. Worry about myself later. Seems like I'm fine. You learn how to be pretty graceful over the bars after a while. But here's that pumping section, still continuing. Pump through this, and then this scary looking thing pump to come up to the left. Watch your bars. There we go. Pump. Pumpy. Pump here. Pump going up this guy. Oh yeah. That's pretty much the end of our pumpy adventure. Okay. Now, someone once asked me about the climb out of here. Well, here it is. It is nowhere near as bad as Hampton, which is what I think a lot of people ask me. Let's get going on these. See it up again. Alright. Once again, key to doing switchbacks is to save your energy till the turns and then crank as hard as you can around the turns. So spin and crank. Spin, conserve energy, crank. This is So that the biggest place to advance your speed in times here is on the flat and ups. We definitely didn't make it under an hour today. We're a couple minutes over right now. Close. Probably gonna be about 5 minutes above. Blame it on the Superman. Probably blame it on the 10 miles at Quill yesterday, if we want to count that too.
So there you have it, folks. Lake Milton trail system in 30 minutes versus about an hour of riding time. I hope you enjoyed my overview of the trails and didn't find it too boring. I feel that most reviews of trail systems that I've found really don't cover everything there is to talk about. And after all, if you're looking up reviews on YouTube, isn't that what you want? I hope to see some of you out on the trail soon. And until next time, be safe, have fun, and go ride.